There's very few things that bring you a lot of pain because you can embrace all the suck. You can embrace everything that happens to you and make it a beautiful mess. Most of the pain that we experience in life is because of the expectations we put on what our life is supposed to look like.
Having those boundaries.
Yeah, and most of the time they're not even your own expectations. They're your parents or your somebody's or your churches or whatever. It's like when you can truly kill those expectations and not get caught up in what your life needs to look like, there's very few things that bring you a lot of pain because you can embrace all the suck. You can embrace everything that happens to you and make it a beautiful mess. You're like, man, this is a really awful thing happening. I can't wait to see what I learn from this. Like, we choose that. We get to decide what everything means. There's the story of the two kids that grew up with an alcoholic dad. They end up getting older, and one of them went off and became this hugely successful business person, and he's got a beautiful family, amazing things going on. And then you got the other brother. He ended up being, the other son, I guess, he ended up being an alcoholic and, into drugs and everything else. And they asked both the brothers, asked the successful brother, like, how'd you end up with this beautiful life? He said, my dad was an alcoholic, and I saw what that did to my family growing up, and I just knew that I didn't want to go that route. Because my dad was an alcoholic, I had to choose this life. When they asked the other brother, the one that's, just squandered his whole life, he's a druggie and a drunk and all that, he said, what happened, man? When did you go wrong? And he said, my dad was an alcoholic. And I knew because of that this was going to be the path that I had for my life. We get to choose that. We get to choose the meaning of whatever happens to us. Do you want to play a victim to your circumstances, or do you want to rise above them? In every circumstance, we get to decide that.
Thanks for listening to a podcast with interesting people. Please subscribe and leave a review or comment.
And support us by sharing our episodes on social media. We really appreciate it. And for more information, visit us at apodcast.com. Thanks.